Good evening, everyone. This is just an update and conclusion of the engine detailing job that I was doing. As you can see, the engine block's quite shiny as I've gone over every square inch of this block with a die grinder, and in some cases I've used an angle grinder with a flap wheel to get the casting flash off. As you may have recalled from my previous videos, the oil returns were just terrible. Here's one of them here. And before I could barely get my finger down there, it's nice and smooth now. I can get 2 fingers almost into this one, whereas before I could barely get a push rod into it. And this one also, I could barely get a push rod into it. So I just got a carbide burr and went to town. And as you can see, I've chamfered all the oil return holes in the lifter valleys also, and got rid of all of the casting flash everywhere. And you can also see that I've really spent some time in here chamfering all these return holes, and this goes into the timing chain area, and I'll show you that area also. This not only cleaned up the block and made it easier to handle, but it also makes it nicer for paint finish at the end of the day. And this particular timing area was horrible. So I retained all the numbers, but I got rid of everything else. I touched this area. In a previous video, there was a little casting inclusion here. I just touched it with a die grinder and it fell off. There was a few of these in the block actually. So that's really clean now. I flipped the block over and chamfered all the way around on both sides. And as you can see, I've removed the core plugs, and I will be tapping them for threaded pipe plugs, because I don't like the cup style idea. And I'm already here and I have the parts and the tap to do it. But I'm pretty happy with it. You may note that the core plugs are still in it, and I did that to keep as much of the material out of the water jackets as possible. I will be punching those out later on and painting it, and then reinstalling the new core plugs. Just a little detail that I want to do. But I'll flip it over and I'll show you what I've done to the bottom rotating side. The back side also had all the casting deflashed. It was quite bad around the cam area here, so I punched the core plug out and cleaned it up also. It was pretty bad, but the rest of it was good. So I'm going to give it a good clean up and give it a paint job. So I'm going to flip this over and show you the rotating side. Just bear with the noise. Okay. So here's the rotating side. I've taken all the burrs out and cleaned everything up. Those are the return galleys there. They're pretty difficult to see. But there's the other one down there. And I just smoothed the passage. And it's also removed all the stress risers and smoothed out all of the sharp edges on the cylinder bores as well as in the lifter galley, or valley, sorry. But it was right full of casting flaws, so it'll really be nice for the machine shop, and it'll be easier to clean. Anyways, I'll stop talking about it, and this is just the outside details, and walk around the other side, and that's what it looks like. I also draw filed the oil pan rails and all the gasket mating surfaces and prepped them, and it looks really good. I'm very happy with the outcome, but it took a long time, so just be patient. And like I said in the previous video, just take your time and don't go all out and put too much pressure on the burr, because you can get into a water jacket or an oil galley quite easily, and that would really ruin your day and ruin the block, and you'll be in for trying to find another casting, which isn't difficult, but it's just a waste of time and money. But this was quite a bit of effort. I wouldn't recommend doing this to just a regular street vehicle, but I do plan on utilizing this in an off-road application for long term. So I just did all the work, and one day when I can afford to get it bored out, it's ready to rock and roll. Anyways, I'll shut up and we'll carry on. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.